The Lakewood Ranch real estate market is frozen, not soft, not slow, frozen. And it is not all because of interest rates. My name is Adam Miller with the 941 Lifestyle Group, and I don't care what the headlines say, this is paralysis. Buyers are not buying right now, and a lot of sellers, they are just detached from reality. And meanwhile, interest rates, they are stuck around 7%, just shy of 7% at the time of this recording. I don't have to tell you about insurance rates, they are through the roof. You want to know what's really going on? Let's start off with the Fed Chair Jerome Powell. This is a man who said inflation was transitory, and then he raised rates faster than anybody else in modern history. And now he's just sitting there watching and waiting, and interest rates, they're hovering between 6.7%, 7%, sometimes a little over 7%. And he's made it clear that he has no rush to bring them down. And meanwhile, here on the ground, buyers can't afford the homes that they want. Sellers are locked in at 3% interest rates and they don't want to budge. And inventory here is piling up, not because people don't want to move, just they can't. And this isn't price fatigue, this is policy failure. And Powell's waiting game is pushing Lakewood Ranch deeper into gridlock. Let's talk about our governor, Governor DeSantis. He, of course, has made national headlines talking about getting rid of property taxes here in Florida, which sounds great in theory, but so far, nothing yet. I mean, who knows if it's going to happen? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but ask yourself this, are you going to buy a home or sell a home? If it happens, probably not going to make a difference anyway, right? And while the headlines fade, homeowners are still getting hammered by rising insurance premiums, climbing property tax bills, and uncertain about whether or not Florida is even affordable anymore. Now, I know our governor loves to talk about freedom, but freedom from what? Not from rising costs. We're not free from confusion, and we're definitely not free from inaction. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who disagree, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of criticism from this, but in my opinion, he is not solving the crisis. He's certainly campaigning through it. And then, of course, there's the president, Donald Trump. The election's over, he's back in office, say what you will, those are the facts. But instead of bringing calm to the market, he is just raging war. He's attacking Jerome Powell, starting trade wars, and he's reigniting global uncertainty at every turn. And whether you love him or whether you hate him, this part is not up for debate. The market hates chaos. It hates uncertainty, it hates chaos, it is just not good all around. A lot of investors are pulling back, buyers are scared of what's next, and retirees who used to make up a huge chunk of our relocation buyers, they are holding their cash and they're waiting for the smoke to clear. So now we have three men, one in DC, one in Tallahassee, one back in the White House. And none of them are offering clear, stable leadership. And we, the people, we're the ones paying the price. Homeowners, sellers, buyers, right here in our backyard, Manatee County, Sarasota County too, but today we're talking about Manatee County. And here's the truth about what I'm seeing in Lakewood Ranch. Homes, they're sitting much longer, not all of them, but a lot of them, actually most of them. Buyers are ghosting, they show up, they ask a lot of questions, then they just disappear. And a lot of sellers, not all sellers, but a lot of sellers, probably most sellers, they are clinging to pandemic prices like it's 2021. It's just not. And the result? Nothing's moving, or at least very little is moving, and unless you are priced below market value or offering a ton of incentives, you're just another listing in the MLS. The worst part, this isn't a natural slowdown. It's actually manufactured, held hostage by ego, indecision, and distractions at the highest levels. Okay, so the stats just came out from the Real Estate Association of Sarasota Manatee County. I want to talk about single-family homes in Manatee County. I'm not going to go through all the numbers. I'll put a link in the description, but there's definitely some key indications that you definitely need to pay attention to, whether you're a buyer or a seller. All right, RJ, throw up the stats. All right, closed sales, they're down. The median sale price down 15.2%, the average sale price down 20.8%, the dollar volume down 23.3%, the median time to contract is now 56 days, the median time to sale is now 109 days, new pending sales are down double digits, new listings are down about 3%, pending inventory down just about 10%, and now we have about 5.2 months supply of inventory. That basically means that if no other properties got listed for sale, it'll take about 5.2 months to go through all of that inventory. Now, personally and professionally, I still think it's a great time to be a buyer. I still think it's a great time to be a seller, but you have to be realistic. Buyers have a great opportunity because there's a lot of competition. We haven't even talked about new construction and all the incentives that the builders are offering right now. But for you people who are sitting on the sidelines thinking about buying a home, we should probably have a conversation because I think there's a deal to be had. And for you sellers or for you potential home sellers, you have to price it right. This is not 2020, not 2021. You gotta price it right. Otherwise, it's just gonna sit on the market. You're competing with new construction homes, which are offering just insane incentives. And buyers right now are being savvy, they're being patient, and if you overprice it, everybody's gonna know it. The real estate agent's gonna know it. The buyers nowadays have access to a lot of information. They're gonna know that your house is overpriced. And if it's on the market for a long time, what is the first question that they ask? What's wrong with the house? And that is the last thing that you want. So if you're gonna sell, just price it right. Okay, so I'm going to go over some of the numbers too for Lakewood Ranch. Now, specifically, it's 34202, 34211. Those are the two primary zip codes in Lakewood Ranch. We're talking about single-family homes only. So there are significantly more active listings than there are pending, and what's more telling is the number of canceled, withdrawn, or expired listings combined is well over the number of homes that are actually currently under contract. And that indicates hesitation on both sides of the market. Buyers, they're being cautious, likely due to interest rates and economic uncertainty. Sellers, meanwhile, are often pricing based on past market conditions that no longer apply. And the results? Stagnation. Homes are taking longer to sell, many aren't selling at all, and when listings cancel or withdraw or expire, it's often because sellers didn't adjust quickly enough, whether it's pricing, whether it's presentation, or maybe it's even timing. A lot of times the property was overpriced, sometimes it just wasn't marketed well. And in many cases, a lot of sellers just changed their mind because their house out on the market entirely too long with very little showings and no offers. If this current trend continues with elevated inventory, buyer hesitation, and unrealistic pricing, we are likely to see even more listings come off the market unsold. And again, resale homeowners, they are competing against new construction. The incentives builders are offering are just insane. By the way, if you're watching this and you are thinking about buying a home and you're curious about what kind of incentives the builders are offering, man, they're just insane. Do me a favor, drop me a comment down below or direct message me, we'll talk. And if you're a buyer who's waiting for interest rates to drop back to 5% or even sellers, I got news for you. It is not likely to happen, certainly not this year. And by all indications, man, if we get into the high fives by summer next year, I'd be surprised. And when the Feds finally do cut interest rates, hopefully it's sooner than later, have low expectations on that, but there's going to be so much pent-up demand that now there's going to be a lot of buyer competition again. And it is highly likely that that's going to drive prices back up. If you've watched this channel enough, you know that I'm always respectfully and brutally straightforward and honest. But if you are a seller thinking that you're going to get 2022 prices, you are not in the market. You're just in denial. I've seen it. I've experienced it myself. Just not where we're at anymore. Now, with that being said, there are 10,000 real estate agents in Sarasota Manatee County. You are absolutely, positively can find a real estate agent who is going to tell you whatever you want to hear just to get your listing and overprice your property and put it on the market. It's going to happen. So this is not a time for games. This is a time for clarity, for strategy, and for reality-based decisions. Jerome Powell is stalling. Ron DeSantis is making promises he can't keep. And Donald Trump is keeping the markets guessing every single day. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, those indecisions are affecting every single one of us. And while they play politics, our local market just sits in limbo. So if you're sitting at your kitchen table and you're wondering whether or not you should sell or maybe wait to buy or perhaps rent the place out until things calm down, we should definitely talk. No fluff, no BS, no pressure, just an honest conversation. You can scan this QR code, you can click the link in the description down below. Let's schedule a 15-minute discovery call. We'll just break through the noise and talk about what actually works best for you. All right, one final thing for you. Do me a big favor. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, drop a comment down below too. Let us know where you're watching from. All right, thanks for watching everybody. We'll see you next time.